You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We've got Jason Avery in studio with us, averyconstruction.com. We have attorney Josh Miller as well. He's a mediator, arbitrator. We're going to talk with him about that. We'll probably get into a little bit of construction law, construction defects as well, and what happens, what's that process look like as well, because Jason's also an expert what do they call it, Jason? Expert
witness,
expert
testimony.
Right. Testimony, yeah. That's right.
Construction litigation.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. And I've got some of that stuff going on right now, so it's a lot of fun. I can tell you about it. But also, we touched on a little bit of this wasteful spending. Blaze Ignolia, if you could throw that up for me, Dave. This, Blaze Ignolia posted on X today. The FAFO office announced that Hillsborough County, right here locally, Hillsborough County has been excessively spending almost $279 million of your hard-earned tax dollars. That's good news. Taxpayers are going to be able to vote for substantial property tax relief next November. If governments won't give us property tax reliefs, we'll do it ourselves. Let's make it happen and remind our governments that it's our money, not theirs. So, yeah, that's just a long line of the Florida Doge efforts so far. Overspending, let's look at some of it. Findings in these counties. Orange County, $200 million. Jacksonville, Duval County, $200 million excessive spending. One of the examples was a $75,000 holographic video of Mayor Donna Deegan at the airport. So we also have that clip there that we could put up. Blaze took a picture of that. So $75,000 taxpayer dollars so the mayor can promote herself at the airport. Nope, we don't want it. Hillsborough County, $250 million also given to nonprofits over the last 10 years, and many of them are autopilot funding with little oversight. And just, yep, here you go, stamp it, give you another millions of dollars of our taxpayer dollars. Broward County, very similar as well. So we'll touch a little bit on that here today. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always featuring our real estate listings on air, part of a strategy that helps our sellers sell faster for more money with less headaches. We got a property here at 7991 Lake James Boulevard. Another one of our beautiful listings. This one's got great curb appeal, lighter color interior. This is at Lakeland, Florida, Polk County. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-car garage, 1,890 square feet, and 0.15 acre lot. Newer home built in 2022, gated 55-plus community. Lake James in Lakeland. Open split floor plan with gorgeous tile, luxury vinyl flooring throughout. Check out 7991 Lake James Boulevard, Lakeland, Florida. Another one of our beautiful listings. Check this one out. I like this one, 9914 Ala Vista Drive in Gibsonton, Florida. This is one of my favorite listings. I love this property. It's on the Alafia River, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1922 square feet. Got an elevated stilt home that sits at the end of a quiet street on a large waterfront lot. This is a $1 million listing from the Platinum MVP team. Beautiful boat lift, boathouse there. It's a covered boathouse. You have fully solar powered with updated panels as well, and an inverter under warranty there. Private dock, split bedroom layout, beautiful property, access to the Gulf. Great opportunity to buy real estate. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Jason Avery, welcome back, sir.
Hey, man, great to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. And what's new in your world?
Well, I'll tell you what, the best first quarter ever.
I love it.
Second quarter sales, we're half of the target that we're seeking, but I think that the pressure is getting ready to come off with those interest rates. We finally got an interest rate drop. It's going to start to stimulate the household market again.
That's right.
My clients, they keep me somewhat recession resilient in that they still have money even when times are tough. And if you told them the interest rates were going to stay high or go higher, they would continue to spend because they think the project's going to get more expensive down the road. And, they're stuck in the house anyway, might as well fix it up.
Yep.
When you tell them the rates are coming down, well, there's options now. So do we want to see if it gets any cheaper? Do we want to see if maybe we get out of this house, get the next one, spend our money fixing it up instead? I think money shifts to the sidelines a little bit. it turns into pent-up demand.
Right.
And when the market opens up, we'll get the floodgates of people, that want it done yesterday, and, we'll be all bottlenecked again. So, looking forward to a very strong year next year, I think, if we continue to follow this trend. Can we get a couple more little bumps down on interest before the end of the year? And then, ultimately, maybe in the spring of next year, we have a new head of the chair,
Fed chair. Yeah, that's true.
So anyways, but otherwise, business is good. We're still finding, extra large, extraordinary projects to fill gaps. People spending $400,000 on a residential remodel. I mean, that's, a little bit up there.
Yeah,
that's not the
nice.
average job. But they fill gaps nicely. But I'll tell you, me personally, I'm just spending a lot more of my time on that expert witness, expert testimony side.
Yeah.
I get hired often by attorneys when, like after the hurricanes, a lot of people got a crappy claim from insurance, and they had to go back and sue the insurance company to try and get the right claim for the right value. I'm the forensic estimator in that step, to what is the right value. They've heard from a field adjuster representing the insurance company that was only worth a little bit, and then they heard from a public adjuster they hired on the side that it was worth a whole lot. But neither of them are a contractor. So the attorney hires me to be the voice of reason and say, here's the real value. And, based on what an engineer's recommendations might have been on the source of the damage.
Right.
So we went through a whole bunch of that for the last year, and helping attorneys on that side. And now what's happening is I'm seeing the wave push back the other direction. There's a lot of people who hired a cheap, crappy contractor, maybe unqualified in some ways.
Yep.
And they, did some fraudulent things in the way they submitted to building departments, trying to skirt under FEMA regulations and such. And, unlicensed work, there's fire hazards in that. There's leak hazards in that. There's mold hazards in that. It's life safety issues in that stuff. And so I'm now seeing the blowback where attorneys are hiring me as the homeowner needs to sue the contractor for builder defects. And, I went to one the other day. It looks cosmetic on the surface. I'm almost feeling guilty. I don't want to beat up a fellow contractor if it's just, some putty and caulking and grout that needs to be finished up. But then, he didn't pull a plumbing permit? He didn't get a termite treatment. Oh my gosh, he didn't, he skipped 5 steps. It's not done by a licensed electrician, not done by a licensed plumber. You don't get the termite treatment. You're asking for subterranean termites. There's mold issues, all kinds of issues there. So now I don't feel bad anymore. Let's go ahead and get those guys out of the way.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening in my world, I brought my guest here, Josh, today because I'm going to actually revise the languaging in my contracts going forward to start requiring some mediation before litigation, before you go all the way, to a lawsuit. And I think it would save me money if ever, having to get a middleman. That's what this guy does for a living. So I thought I'd introduce him to the show.
Yeah, I like that. So that's a good point, Josh. Attorney Josh Miller, welcome into the program here, and you're a mediator / arbitrator. That's a good idea for contractors to have, right?
Absolutely. It's a great way to save money, right? Mm-hmm. Anytime you're going to have to go through litigation, everybody's hiring attorneys. Attorneys are not cheap. We all know that, right? So sometimes you still need them, and you can bring them along, but you can get this resolved before a lawsuit has to be filed. You can take it, mediate it, because at the end of the day, what you're trying to get is something fair and reasonable, right? Yeah. And if that's kind of what I help people do. Sometimes you guys can't even be in the same room with each other because you're so angry with each other, but that's fine because I'm there. I'm going to do the diplomacy. I'm going to be the one taking your messages where you're angry. I'm going to tone them down a little bit, and let's try to get something done.
Right.
And then a really interesting part that a lot of people don't know is you can actually do a hybrid where you come in and we all agree beforehand, we're going to try to let you guys make this decision. I'm going to help you get there. But if you can't, we all know that at the end of the day, I'm going to switch my hat over, and I'm going to be basically the privately hired judge. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be the arbitrator who's going to tell you what I think the law says, what is fair. And that's still going to keep you out of court, save you months and months of litigation and thousands of dollars.
Yeah, because most mediation is just that. You're trying, like you described, you're trying to play both or help both sides and play that middleman. But when it goes to arbitration, that's where it's binding in most cases, right? Binding arbitration.
So there are 2 types of arbitration: binding and non-binding. Okay. But typically that's right. So mediation is a process where I'm going to empower you as the person to make the decision. I can't make the decision for you. I'm there to help you make that decision. But this hybrid process allows kind of the best of both worlds, right? Because sometimes people get very entrenched in their positions.
Exactly.
And they're not going to listen. So by that point, I've heard both sides, and it's pretty much unfiltered. You're telling me the truth, and my whole job there is to be neutral. And with all those facts, I can see things a lot with a different perspective,
right?
Than
especially with the law, because the law sometimes you might think, oh, it should be this way, but it's not. The law will be specific about certain things, certain aspects of that contract, or even the precedent that was set, or the the time frames that things were done in. So yeah, it can get really squirrely fast, and when high temperatures are there, two bulldogs are just going to butt heads and waste a lot of time. And we all know the attorney's clock's ticking a lot of times. So in a perfect world, it'd be, hey, let's keep the temperatures cool. Mm-hmm. Let's try to get this done as quickly as possible, because a couple $100 an hour, $500 an hour, all that's going to add up quickly. And if you just joined us, we're talking with Jason Avery in studio and attorney Josh Miller. He is a mediator / arbitrator. And I wanted to go back to a point Jason made earlier with when you look at making a home remodel, you look at maybe accessing some of your equity. We just had one of our mastermind meetings, and this was kind of interesting that over two-thirds of homeowners have paid off their mortgage or have at least 50% equity. And that's a reason why you might want to access with the too late Jerome Powell finally starting to reduce those rates. We're expecting 2 more of those later on this year. That's a great reason why people might want to access home equity line of credit and then use some of that money, Jason, to go ahead and do these repairs or updates. So
again, I would be an example of my type of customer where I had more than 50% equity, and I've got it locked in at 3.375 from way back in the day. But while times were tough shortly after COVID, and I didn't stop trying to grow personally, professionally, and so my wife and I were launching the next business. So I bought a commercial building. You know what? I got a great sale price on it, but I had to pay an extremely high interest rate on it, to go take the HELOC, pull some equity to go fund that deal, buy the crappy old building from the 50s, start renovating it, and, fund through that stuff. And so you marry the price, you date the rate. There's some great buys right now. Yes, the rates still aren't quite exactly where we want them, but they're heading in the right direction.
Right.
And again, if you can lock in the sale price now, go ahead and pay a higher rate for a minute.
Yeah.
And in my case, while I've got the high one, the low one, as soon as it ticks down just a little more, now I consolidate, blend them together, free up cash flow, and I go back to spending again.
That's right. Yeah.
So
and if you have higher credit cards too, you can throw those in 20%. You know how those can get up there fast. Throw those into that.
Yeah, get those off first, because those are the extremely fast compounding, high interest. That's credit card debt's no good for anybody. I use credit card for the sake of putting all my charges to gain all of my miles and points that I can get and pay it off every month. You don't pay those interest, and that's the better way to go. But a mortgage, if you get it down to a low enough rate, well, heck, you might as well keep the mortgage forever, because you can make more with your money in the market than you could by paying off the loan,
That's what I like about the HELOCs, is because it's a revolving line. You can utilize those funds, put it into a project, see a return, realize a return on that, and then the rates on those typically stay pretty low, but just depending on how you structure those. But yeah, I love that idea. And what else are you seeing out there, Jason and Josh? What are you seeing on your side as well?
I was curious, what other cases that are coming in mostly for you? What are you mediating most of?
Well, seeing a lot of insurance cases still. We're still working through the hurricanes that hit last year, and there's been a lot of changes in the insurance industry. And so it's really changed the game, because back in the day, if you had to take your insurance company to court and you won, then the insurance company had to pay your attorney's fees. They've changed that a lot.
Tell me about that, because that's one way attorney's fees now, or it used to be one. What's the description on that? Because I heard.
So it used to be the prevailing party's attorney's fees.
Okay.
And that was a motivator for insurance companies to bring enough money to get this settled before they had to go litigate it.
Right.
But that's been clamped down on, because we've all seen our insurance rates skyrocketing, going through the roof. So They modified that quite a bit, and now it's a lot harder to get attorney's fees. So typically, you're going to pay your own, right? And that's,
you're going to be more reluctant before you bring a suit.
You are, and that's going to keep litigation costs down. But you have to find that right balance, because the homeowner who has just lost their roof or who's lost their house, they still need to be made whole again. That's why they're paying their premiums every year.
Right. Yeah, to that point, this was, and we got to go to break here, but what happens is you used to have the typical contractor going by, roofing contractor. They'd knock on the old lady's house. Oh, did you know there's a storm here? Yeah, we can get you a new roof. She's like, I don't need a new roof. Well, yeah, let me show you. Got a couple bad tiles up there.
Yeah, that they tore off and threw out into the yard, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then that's what ran us all up and got us into a predicament that Josh Miller just described. Attorney Josh Miller, Jason Avery here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Quick break, right back. More on this as well. Plus, the U.S. economy grew at a 3.8% rate in the second quarter, and that's coming in stronger than previously reported. Of course, they're going to report the good things, a little bit softer than they do on a different administration when Trump's in the House. But quick break, right back. Consumer Quarterback Show online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Tired of long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation, aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online, willsmithaviation.com. That's willsmithaviation.com, or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke, American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, online at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net. For all of your surveying needs, land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back in studio here with Jason Avery. He's the owner of AveryConstruction.com, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Over a decade, Jason's been a part of this program. And we have also special guest attorney Josh Miller, greenbenchlaw.com. He's a mediator, arbitrator, local attorney right here in Tampa Bay. I believe he's out of St. Petersburg. And we're talking a little bit about the insurance industry, insurance cases, and he can help in all those different situations as well. Hot listing, and then we'll go right back into it. So we've got a property here at 2547 Lexington Oak Drive, Brandon, Florida. 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath. You got a 1-car garage here. New flooring, fresh carpet throughout. All bedrooms have been remodeled en suites with the some upgrades there. You also have a level 2 EV charger in the garage, gated community pool, and a beautiful property. This is a gated community with a large pool there as well, just minutes from top-rated schools, popular dining spots, and endless shopping options. Great opportunity to buy real estate. And if you're buying, selling, investing, or refinancing, I do have my mortgage license as well. We would love to help you, and we greatly appreciate everybody that supports the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our experts at consumerqb.com. Got to give a quick shout out to our friend Lee over at Lee's Royal Services as well. He does a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Home and office cleaning, Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Find him online. Height Soft Wash does our outside pressure washing as well. HeightSoftWash.com. Ramin, as the owner of that company, does a great job. HeightSoftWash.com. Taking clean to new heights. And check out this jingle I just heard.
Avery's the name that folks adore. Remodel your home and so much more. On budget, on time, no fuss or queer. Free estimates, just call 855 is work.
Now, is that your voice, Jason?
No. No, and I tried for I always wanted a corny jingle, man. I hear him on the morning news, and then I'm driving down the road later singing the stupid song, and I'm like, that is perfect. It's perfect, you know? And so I asked, a couple people over the years, could you help me produce this? And somebody came back with some like hip hop versions and stuff, and I thought they were cool, but I'm like, it doesn't speak to my target market. It's,
right.
Whether it was Neil Diamond or Lionel Richie or something, that's more, the woman that I work for and what she's listening to, I guess. But anyways, I landed on corny. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Kind of a fun tune.
It's catchy. I'm going to be singing that later.
We also made it for like at the home shows. We always used to put up the pictures before and afters and pretty stuff. And, it blends in with everybody else's pretty stuff, and nobody really looks at it. So I changed that up to a cartoon. And so it's a cartoon of the lady in her kitchen. She's about to remodel, and then you got the contractor with the overalls and the oil leaking truck pulls up in the driveway, and versus my guy with the hard hat and looking strappy.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, my price started a little higher, but his finished way beyond. My timeline looked a little longer, but his went way beyond. And at the end, we walk out the door, and his cabinet door starts falling off.
Yeah.
So,
are you able to use AI to develop some of that stuff?
People smarter than me are. I have a team of people, and I try to put the right person in the right role. I'm not scared to outsource or pay for a professional to do things right and do it the first time and get me the best results. So.
That's right.
But just one final note on that insurance topic we were finishing up earlier. Another thing that was interesting, I am a lot less of the residential, still going through the insurance dispute. I think most of that's getting resolved now, but all of a sudden, Avery Construction has received an uptick in some commercial calls of like apartment complexes.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that insurance dispute is probably a little more lengthy, and there's probably some big commercial opportunities out there where they've just been on hold for over a year now. And so I've got like 2 of them on our plate where I got 34 units that got flooded that need to be taken care of. I typically would avoid something if I had to do all 35 of them at one time, but they're, they want 5-6 units in chunks, and perfect. That's a great gap filler. So
I love that.
Seeing stuff like that out there in the market, it's interesting. I've seen a lot of business growth still going on, even while the consumer money was a little pent up. But I think that first interest rate dropped, and we're on our way back.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm excited.
Love it. Let's look at our lightning round here. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Top tips. Let's start here with Josh Miller, attorney Josh Miller.
Top tips. All right. Try to solve the problems early. Right, if it's whether it's involving a lawyer, whether it's just trying to resolve a dispute with a neighbor, a business associate, anybody, the quicker you can get in there, get some help, get some experts to help you with that. It's going to hurt a little bit because you're probably going to drop a little bit of money up front, but in the big picture, it's going to save you a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. Like hiring that wrong contractor, right, Jason? That price that you think is too good.
So, and the best way to try to prevent that is don't get in that situation in the first place. Put things in writing and be specific.
Yeah.
So, in my past, I worked for a guy who said, write a vague description and a total price, then you can wiggle out of anything.
Oh, boy.
But I was the guy managing the jobs, and I had to take a whole lot of heat from clients that did not like that answer, and they were going to pay more.
Yeah.
So, my strategy is, I give them all the information.
Right.
And it might sound more expensive, but it's actually just more thorough, more accurate. It's way more comfortable to know up front what you're getting into than take it in bite-sized pieces called change orders.
Yep.
And as you go, you'll have a terrible relationship, communication will break down, you'll hate each other, and does it ever even get finished?
Yeah, and Jason, you also mentioned in the past, too, just getting it quick. Get them a quick answer. They don't want to wait a week to get the estimate back, and that's what some contractors do. Jason Avery, AveryConstruction.com, attorney Josh Miller, greenbenchlaw.com. All right, guys. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having us.
All right. We had Shane Faunce on the front end, Tampa Yacht Sales, and also our expert contributors here. We want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the local economy on our website there, consumerqb.com. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.